What's up, everybody? Jackson Fuller here. Happy Monday to you all, and this is the StarNewsVarsity Weekly Rundown. All right, take a quick look back at what happened in the previous week of local high school sports, and we also take a quick look forward at what's coming down the road. What a week it was in local high school sports. Swimming ended a couple weeks ago, and all the focus was on wrestling and basketball this past week, and it was just an impressive week for local wrestlers. We had 3 separate state champions over in Greensboro at the individual tournaments. Laney had a pair of state champions, Mark Samuel and Marcus Mondragon. Samuel in the 106-pound weight class and Mondragon in the 138-pound weight class. Just terrific years for both of these wrestlers. If you had asked me before the season who are the two, pick a couple wrestlers that are most likely to win a state championship, it's probably those two. Samuel finished the year undefeated, didn't drop a single match. Mondragon didn't finish undefeated, but he was relentless all year in the regionals. This little screwy match in the semifinals, he wasn't able to win the regional title. He bounced back in a huge way, didn't have an easy road. He had to play top wrestlers early on in the wrestling state championships, and then in the final, he took down, or not didn't get a pin, but he won pretty convincingly in the final. So, and then the third champion came from North Brunswick, Brian Arago. And, we knew coming into the season that Brian was a talented wrestler. He had a great season the previous year, and he put it all together this year in a big way. He also had an undefeated campaign. He was in the 182 weight class in the 3A classification. So 3 state champions. We also had 3 people finish in third place. Christian Zickafoos from West Brunswick in the 106-pound weight class for 3A. And then Laney's Connor Johnson and Devin Bell both did. Johnson in the 132 weight class, Devin Bell in the 170 weight class. Overall, Laney as a team finished in second place behind Huff. Really just one weight class, one match separated those two teams. So the Bucks, Andre Adams texted me afterwards. Next year, the goal is to win the team state title as well over there when they get to Greensboro. So really a terrific week for the local wrestlers. The season's over, and probably one of the best local wrestling seasons in a while. I know 2 years ago we had 2 state champions. Last year we didn't have any. The year before that we had just 1. So 3 state champions. Congrats to all the wrestlers here. Really a talented area, and with Laney at the heart of it, but North Brunswick found themselves with a winner on the podium as well this weekend. Let's jump into basketball. It's the only winter sport left standing. The MEC tournaments, the conference tournaments across the state were this weekend. At the MEC, the number 1 seeds held serve, New Hanover boys and the Ashley girls. The Screaming Eagles kind of ran through the Mid-Eastern Conference tournament with no surprise. The game against Laney in the championship, it felt a lot closer than it actually was, just because of the intensity with those two teams. Sinai Rivers against her old team. Laney is just a very, they like to press. They like to get up and down. They've got so much depth on their bench. It felt like, Laney was within striking distance, but in reality, Ashley was up by double digits throughout the second half. And Rivers posted a great tournament, as she always does, but she's getting consistent help from Mia Seamadre now. Seamadre set a school record with 8 3-pointers in the semifinals against North Brunswick. And I was really impressed with Bryn Little and Lexi Hinson as well. And those are 2 girls for Ashley who have been there the past 2 years, not experienced any kind of real success. Of course, they get Rivers, they get Seamadre coming in this year, and those 2 girls are leaders for Ashley who have been around the program for a while, who are now experiencing this kind of success, and you have to be happy for those 2 girls. And the New Hanover boys wasn't so easy. It wasn't as easy for them. They had a really, they crushed North Brunswick in the first round. The second round against West Brunswick, a team that is a tough matchup for New Hanover. Not necessarily a tough matchup, I take that back, but it's 2 teams that are very similar in style, and they really go right at each other, and they create some of the more fun games you can watch here in the area. And we'll be talking about those 2 teams in a little bit. New Hanover outlasted them, pulled away at the end, and then in the final, they played Hoggard. The Vikings mixed it up. They played like a 3-2 matchup zone, tried to slow the pace down. It frustrated New Hanover early on. Hoggard led at halftime, but then the Wildcats made their threes in the second half and came back and earned a narrow victory to sweep the regular season and conference championships. So the Wildcats have been impressive all year long. They're such a young team. I thought coming into the season they were probably a year away from this point. No, they are the conference champions. They're top seed in the playoffs. And speaking of the playoffs, they start Tuesday night. The brackets from the NCHSA were released yesterday. New Hanover boys, Ashley girls, and Hoggard boys all got pretty high seeds in the tournament. The Wildcats got the best seed of all. They're the 2 in the 3A East. They've got a home game against Person, I believe, and in the first round, and then they have potential to face West Brunswick in the second round. A 4th time this year they would face the Trojans. Their only loss in the Mid-Eastern Conference came at home to West Brunswick, and that's where the site of the second round would be. Of course, West Brunswick has to get past Eastern Wayne first, but I actually expect the Trojans to do that. I think that they will go on the road and win their first round game and set up a MEC rematch in the second round. And there's a potential for us to have an MEC rematch in the second round in the 4A boys bracket as well between Hoggard and Laney. The Vikings got a bye. Laney will host Holly Springs. I know Holly Springs plays in a very tough conference. They're from Raleigh. They have great competition. They only went 11-14 this year. So Laney could absolutely win that game and get their 4th shot at trying to beat Hoggard. Those 2 teams played in the semifinals of the MEC tournament as well, where Laney was up 2 with less than a minute remaining in overtime, couldn't make its free throws. Hoggard finds a way to come back and win on a Cam Blanks 3-pointer. So I know Laney's probably itching to face Hoggard one more time. The Vikings maybe not, but hey, they're 3-0 against Laney, so why not try and move on to 4-0. The Ashley Screaming Eagle girls, the other really top seed and state championship contender, got a bye in the first round. They'll be at home on Thursday night, and then probably, if the bracket were to go chalk, they'd be on the road the rest of the way. So, and then Pender boys, worth mentioning, they will, unfortunately for Pender, they lost East Carteret in the Coastal 8 final, and that dropped them from probably being a 5 seed down to being a 12 seed, and really only one home game in the playoffs for Pender. But Jawan Carr, Jaquan Moore, they have a great chance at making a deep run this year. I mean, they're as talented as anyone on any given night. So if Pender can put 6 games together, they could absolutely be lifting a state championship trophy in the 1A bracket. That's it for the rundown. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Please follow along on Twitter at StarNewsVarsity, Facebook.com/StarNewsVarsity. Subscribe to our newsletter. I say that every time now, StarNewsOnline.com/newsletters. And we're going to have a full week of coverage. We're going to try and... I think Tuesday we're only going to get to 1 game, or we're going to get to the Laney doubleheader on Tuesday night. The boys and girls from the Bucks are both at home. Thursday our plan is to get out to 2 games. We'll have coverage from every single game in our high school roundup, and then who knows, Saturday, the 3rd round, we could have multiple teams at home. We could have everybody on the road. We'll see. We'll have your coverage that you can trust with us. It'll be there at StarNewsVarsity.com throughout the high school basketball playoffs. And spring sports are right around the corner. I'm going to be starting to work on previews today. So everyone have a great week. Enjoy this kind of cloudy, dreary Monday, and we'll be talking soon, I'm sure. Have a good one.